everyone, and welcome back to the Fairy Tale Family, where our goal is to put a little bit of magic into your everyday. Today, I wanted to share with you what Mark and I recently ate in Walt Disney World this past weekend, so the weekend before Thanksgiving, and was it worth it? So we will be also doing a separate video on how to go to Disney without dining reservations, because we in fact did this for the first time this past weekend. Normally we book out all of our reservations, but we really wanted to enjoy the booths, particularly in Epcot. We wanted to be able to enjoy ourselves in the countries and go to places that we've never been before, because we always dine or typically dine at the same places. So we're going to be putting up pictures of the snacks, of our meals, and I'm going to be telling you prices and let you know what was worth it value-wise, because that's really important to us when we travel. We don't typically travel with like a food budget, but it is still important to us to know that we're getting a good value, we're eating things that matter, and especially since my stomach is this size of a cheese stick now. Weight loss video will be linked above if you have not yet joined the journey of my weight loss situation. But I have had weight loss surgery, and I really want to make the bites that go into it matter. So we're going to get started right now. Let's begin in Animal Kingdom. We arrived on a Thursday evening, went to the Grand Floridian to see the incredible gingerbread structure there. And on our first full day, when we woke up that next morning, we headed directly to Animal Kingdom to see the Christmas festivities. So Mark brought breakfast. We typically bring breakfast with us or have it delivered through the Amazon Prime Now service. I will link that video above as well. Over the summer, I did a video on why you need this as a parent, but we found ourselves utilizing it, just the two of us as well. So he had things to eat for breakfast. I was all set for breakfast as well. So when we got into the park, we weren't hungry. However, we reached that like 10:30, 11 a.m. area, and we knew we didn't want to eat lunch because we wanted to eat lunch at Satuli Canteen in Pandora in Animal Kingdom, which we'll get to. So we wanted a snack. So we bought a singular one pork egg roll, which was $4, and it was really large. We were both able to enjoy it, and in fact, we threw some of it away because Mark didn't want to fill up and I couldn't put any more in my stomach. So it was about this big, and we both agreed we would have loved a sauce with it. We're sauce people. We like hearty dipping sauces or spicy sauces or ginger-based sauces. And the pork roll itself was good. Like, it was really crispy on the outside and it had everything you would want on it on the inside, but I really wished a dipping sauce came with it. In retrospect, there is a truffle fry or a spicy fry cart nearby with like spicy honey mustard and spicy ketchups. We should have gotten sauce from there and used that on the egg roll, but we didn't know that existed until after we passed it. So we kind of bought the egg roll, found a high top table, enjoyed our snack, tossed it, and then kept walking. Had we kept walking, we would have noticed the sauces nearby. So I would recommend the pork egg roll for $4. It's a pretty decent deal in Disney for a couple of people. It's not a meal for two people, but it could serve as a snack, but I would hunt down those sauces as well. As I mentioned, we did eat lunch at Satuli Canteen, which has become a go-to spot for us. So we did the mobile ordering, also would recommend through the app, My Disney Experience app, and Mark ended up getting a chicken and pork bowl. And when I say bowl, I mean it. I actually commented to him, wow, that's a really hearty portion, and it comes with this incredible sauce, again, with the sauces, the sauce on top. It's his favorite thing there. However, it is pricier. It's on the pricier side. It's around $16 for a single meal. It does come with like vegetables, a grain, like it has a rice in it, as well as the protein on top, and it will fill you up. You could easily split this between an adult and a child or two adults, but I opted for the kids meal bao bun, which is the little cheeseburger pods. Those are incredible. My meal was only $7.99 because it's a kid's meal. Now, that's the beauty of mobile ordering. I feel really guilty approaching a menu that says for guests 9 and under and asking for it anyway. And I don't feel like I should need to say, I've had weight loss surgery, I can't eat that, to purchase the adult portion, which I'm gonna throw away. So it's about wasting our money, but it's also about wasting food. So when it's mobile ordering, I can order off the kids' meal without guilt because they don't need to know that I'm a 34-year-old woman. But mine came with grapes in a plastic baggie that I actually ended up bringing home, and the veggie chips, which are spicy. You should be aware of that for your children. They're spicy, but dear Lord, are they delicious. I actually packed the rest of them in a to-go Ziploc bag, and we brought them back to the hotel. They did not last over several days. I was a little disappointed, but the chips I did sneak at night were so good. So the kids' meal bao bun is a great deal for a child or an adult. It's like the same price as going to McDonald's, but you're getting really good food. That little cheeseburger pod, so good. And it's like not something that's on traditionally a kid's menu. So I like that. That's a fan fave, a Craig fave all the way around, Fairy Tale Family fave. The bao buns, the cheeseburger pods, definitely try at Satuli Canteen. Okay, we are hopping to Magic Kingdom. Now, typically we eat at Be Our Guest here, and I was a little sad we didn't have a dinner reservation or a lunch reservation because the gray stuff is delicious. It's a fave, and their sandwiches are so melty and delicious, but we went in knowing that there were going to be a ton of treats at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, which there were. We actually have a full bag of them still. We haven't touched them since we came home. But again, we were hungry and we didn't want to spoil dinner or what we thought might be dinner. So we sought out intentionally on the way, I believe it's on the way into Adventureland between Fantasyland. It's the cheeseburger spring roll cart. Now it's 2 for $7. And again, I think the rolls here are like really a decent deal. They were fantastic. I did apparently eat a lot of cheeseburger that day, which I'm just putting together now, but it didn't bother me then, and I would do it all over again if I had to, or was asked to, or got the chance to. They were awesome. Mark ended up eating like 1.5 of them, but they were crispy and they had enough going on the inside for a complex flavor. They were very hot, which I didn't mind. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. Would recommend. We also ended up eating a corn dog from Frontierland, a cart in Frontierland. And this was $10 and it came with a bag of Lay's potato chips that we did not eat. I believe we donated them with the other items from our room that we didn't eat, that were untouched, of course. This was not worth it. I like corn dogs. I really like the mini ones. But we always say that we pass the cart and it smells so good. And we're like, oh, next time. But we're typically so full. So this time we were wandering. It was around 4 o'clock pre-dinner, and we were riding the Haunted Mansion. We knew we were going to get in a longer line. Let's grab a corn dog. And it was not like crispy enough on the outside. The hot dog isn't great quality. It's $10 for that one thing. This is a pass. This is not something we'll make the mistake of purchasing again. There aren't a ton of those on this list, but if you're going to spend $10, get the cheeseburger spring rolls. Find a sandwich somewhere. Go buy the gray stuff at Be Our Guest. Don't waste it on a corn dog that has nothing special going on. Quite honestly, you can make them better for yourself at home. So now we're approaching the party. It's getting closer to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. We know we're gonna want like not empty bellies, but definitely not super full since we're gonna be trying all kinds of different treats at the different treat spots. So we wandered into Fantasyland and ended up getting buffalo chicken. I think they were called tacheros. They're buffalo chicken tots, essentially. Now, we did not have a positive exchange here with the cast member. Mark does not like green things. He doesn't like green onion. He doesn't like celery. And we had kind of a negative exchange about the green things on this because it typically does come with celery on top. Now, I thought the blue cheese dressing was really good on these, and that the tots themselves were super crispy. I'm weirdly picky about that, but I thought the buffalo chicken was a little drooly, and I really missed the flavoring of bacon. Like, there wasn't enough complexity here for me to enjoy these. They were $10. You do get more here than you would, let's say, with just the single corn dog, but it wasn't enough for me. Maybe I'm being extra picky, or maybe the exchange with the cast member just turned me off to this meal. But there was plenty of seating. I believe we were at the Friar's Nook across from the carousel. It just wasn't something that I'd go back to and spend my money on, which is kind of sad because I love good tot. And so does Mark. He's a super tot fan. Okay, so the party has taken place. So we have been in Magic Kingdom now. We got in at 2. And we watched the parade close it down at midnight. So at like 10 o'clock, we were hungry again. We've gotten all the treats. So we naturally went to an old-time favorite for us, Cosmic Rays. I will always recommend a cheeseburger from Cosmic Rays. Holy moly, I had so much cheeseburger this day. Mark and I split one. It was $14 for a cheeseburger and French fries. Now, what I like about Cosmic Rays is the selection of toppings bar. I really like their pickles. I like their sauces. I like how crispy their French fries are. We both ate our complete halves, and Mark ate most of the French fries. I did pick out some that I wanted, but it's awesome. Now, it's expensive. $14 for a cheeseburger and fries is not a value meal, but if you are sharing it, perhaps it could be worth it. And we used to go to Cosmic Rays. Like, before Be Our Guest, that was our lunch spot. So it has like a nostalgia for us. And there was a Jingle Jam dance party going on with a real DJ, like a human DJ, some polar bears and elves. It was really fun to be in there. So I would recommend Cosmic Rays. You don't have to get the cheeseburger for $14, but just know that that's what you're getting into. Okay. Day number 2, where we spent the entirety of the day at Hollywood Studios. So we initially went in late because we were at Magic Kingdom so late the evening before. But we went into Andy's lunchbox. I think that's the name of it, in Toy Story Land. This was our second experience there. My complaint about Andy's is that there's never enough seating. We were there when it wasn't incredibly busy, and we still had to like stock a table to get a seat for 2 people. Mark noted that a lot of people were bringing their own lunches in and then taking up the table spaces there, which I don't really love. I'm all about that, saving the money, bring your own lunch if that's what you're gonna do, but in such a small area, I think it's just because near Toy Story there's not a ton of seating space in general. Anyway, the food has always been excellent here. We got a treat here that we'll be showing you in our treats video because we're kind of saving all the like specialty treats for a separate filming situation. But for lunch here, we spent $23 total, and Mark got, surprise, the tots, which are great, and I got the adult grilled cheese, which has 3 different types of cheese in it and comes on like a sourdough bread. Really good. Again, a little expensive, but the food here is higher quality than at a lot of the different like purchase at the counter service, seat yourself type of kiosks. So their Pop-Tarts, we had the chocolate hazelnut one the first time we went with, it has candied bacon on the top. Amazing. And we got the holiday edition, which will be featured in our treats, festive treats video. Also delicious. And we ended up saving that in a plastic baggie, and then I ate it for breakfast the following day. So Andy's Lunchbox would totally recommend. We got to ride Midway Mania, which we haven't done in so long. So we spent some time in Toy Story area. We didn't ride Slinky Dog because we didn't want to upset Callie since we were not there with her. Then we had the pleasure of going into Galaxy's Edge, which is the Star Wars space in Hollywood Studios. This is overwhelming. It's an overwhelming space. We could do a whole video just breaking down the different spaces in this area, but Mark really wanted to try a Ronto wrap, which is kind of like a hot dog in a thick pita, which you would hold this way, with the world's best coleslaw, creamy coleslaw on top. It was awesome. So we ate this as a snack later in the day. We shared it. It was $12.99, which is a lot for one thing, but kind of like some of the other items in this video, even though you're paying $13 for it, you are feeding multiple people. So this was worth it in my opinion. I would recommend the Ronto wrap, and I was very unsure of how I would feel about it. For dinner that night, we scored a reservation last minute at the Hollywood Brown Derby. Now, Mark has said that we've been there before. I don't remember that experience. And going into the restaurant, I know I have never been in there before. But he has raved about the Cobb salad there for a decade. For a decade. I tried to make it for him once. It was like $60 of ingredients. A Cobb salad is no joke, friends. You think, oh, it's just a salad? No, no, no. It'll cost you a pretty penny to put that salad together. So he got a Cobb salad. I had an appetizer of, it was 2 or 3 scallops on this spicy creamed corn. The bread, I had to restrain myself so that I don't fill up on carbs, but the bread with the salted butter, so good. So between my scallop meal, his salad, which was fantastic, I did get to take a bite. He had a cocktail, I had water. Dinner came to around $60. So this is if you're on the dining plan, it's a 2-meal credit because it's fancy. They did have a filet mignon that Mark was looking at, but we were like, we can get filet anywhere, get your Cobb salad here. I would recommend this, but not with children. There's not a lot going on inside the Brown Derby that would entice or engage a kid. They do have silhouettes. Drawn silhouettes all over the walls, which is really fun as an adult to play the like, can you see who's on the wall game? But for children, not my first place. But if you're going just as a couple or with friends or with your parents, there was a family across from us who was celebrating. They had 3 teenage girls. 2 of them were celebrating their birthdays. It must have been like a $300 dinner for them because they all got filet. But that's like an appropriate age range. But I would recommend this for adults, and I would recommend the Cobb salad. It does come in like an appetizer and an entree size. Mark got the entree size. If we ever go back, which we probably will when it's just us, I would definitely get the appetizer size for my meal and be very happy about it. All right, we're going into our final day, which was in Epcot. Now, this is kind of like the big food one. If you need to buckle down, get yourself a snack, grab a cocktail, refresh your lip gloss, now is the time to do that. So we started in Mexico and worked all the way around to the UK pavilion. And we got at the little bar across from the cantina outside, Esquites? It's basically street corn. This was a huge hit. This is like our #1 pick, spoiler, for Epcot. It was this salty, spicy corn that they cut off the kernel for you. Kernel? Cob. That they cut off the cob for you and you eat with forks. It cost $4.50. A bargain. A bargain. I would rate this the same as the cheeseburger egg rolls. Really pleased with this. Super salty. You have to mix it. I took a bite just off the top and basically was like, oh, now I'm a mummy. I've been mummified and I'm parched. So make sure you mix it. So delicious. We then proceeded to Germany to go to Caramel Kuche, my favorite. We did buy Callie a caramel square that's in the fridge that she has not eaten yet. But for me, for Mark and I, we got a butter bar, which we've never gotten before. This is more of like a sweet treat. It's caramel with like a butter cookie, but in a blondie shape. Really heavy. Delicious. Super heavy. That cost $4.29. And for the size of it, I would say that that's about right. We had to split it, and then I saved pieces of it for later in the day. So it's something that like you could get as a family and all take nibbles of and be perfectly content with. We then traversed to Italy to Toto Gusto, which is one of my hands down favorite places ever, but probably my very favorite place in Epcot for sure. So this is like a little wine and cheese bar. Again, this is not where I would bring a 4-year-old. Like I wouldn't pull Callie in there. They have, last time we were there that I could drink, they have a bubbles flight of different champagnes. Ooh, so good. We went with the panini this time, so you get these 2 little circle paninis of, you get to choose off the menu. We went with the gorgonzola as well as the like pomodoro, the tomato mozzarella one, and it comes with a little Caesar wedge salad, all for $12. So we thought this was a pretty good deal. And our server messed up a little bit and brought us the wrong one, so he did bring us the 3rd one for free. But we honestly didn't finish them because it was too much. So this could be easily a meal for you and someone else, but for $12, this is kind of like a hidden gem. I think they're expecting that you'll also buy wine, which we didn't. Of course, those are like more expensive. The glasses of wine are more expensive, but I thought the Caesar salad was such a nice touch and the dressing was awesome. Definitely would recommend the paninis there. We popped into Japan. We spent some time in Japan, and we got the spicy roll, which was $10 from inside the Japanese kiosk, kind of at the very end on the left. And that's a lot of sushi for $10. Sushi is expensive no matter what, and to watch it like kind of being made for you is awesome. Now I will say this, I love a wasabi. No, I don't love wasabi. No. I love a soy sauce moment. Again, sauces, friends. This was super spicy. I would be interested in trying the different kinds of rolls, but I was able to have 2 of the pieces of the roll before I was full, and I can't drink and eat at the same time, so I had to kind of wait out the heat. But if you like spicy, I would recommend the spicy roll, decently priced and delicious. And lastly, the last one, fish and chips at the UK is a tradition for Mark and I. I like the tartar sauce. I like vinegar on my, like malt vinegar on my fries. Only in the UK, in Epcot, Mark doesn't. So I took the crispier fries that I wanted. I took a few bites. I was so full, I couldn't even get close to finishing one of these pieces. This costs $12 and is hands down worth it. It's a lot of food for $12. You could easily feed 2 people as a meal. It's full sizes of fish, and then it's crispy on the outside, so delicious. So I hope this was helpful for you planning out your Disney trips. Nothing we ate from here is like a specialty cart that you can't have access to year round. But it's encouraging for us to try new places and to find new foods that we like. So we hope you enjoyed this. I really hope you take some of the tips here, whether it's to eat or not to eat. That is the question Shakespeare always wanted us to ask for Walt Disney World. And we will be seeing you very soon with more Disney content. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.